Looks like it's happening.
Looks like
Here
we're
we are
on.
Monday night. It's a little Monday Night Football for
It is.
everybody.
That
Drew
sounds
Bedard,
good.
Honorable Mention Sports. I'm here with founder of Honorable Mention Sports, the legend Josh Mancuso. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Drew. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm a big fan of your NFL show,
Thank you so much.
and I'm glad I could be part of it today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nice.
It's always good to have people on.
Oh yeah.
And like just talk football with me. Jeff Attinella from Smack Apparel was on a couple weeks ago, and it was fantastic. And you can actually, I just went live on Instagram as well. So we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, and Instagram. So you can share that on Instagram as well from Honorable Mention.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm glad the people are watching. We got some people tuning in already.
Yeah.
We got some NFL stuff to talk about. I'm fired up.
I know. We got lots of good stuff. And we're going to throw in some trivia. So as we do on a weekly basis on Monday night is we're going to look back at this past weekend. And it was a long weekend at that because it started on Thanksgiving. So we've got a lot of games to look at. NFL Week 13, and Josh is here to give his expert analysis on what's going on in the world of NFL football. All right. You ready?
I am ready. I'm trying to figure out how to share this to my stories. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't even know if it's possible, but we're going to try it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're close enough. Here we go.
Okay.
What's up, everybody?
Let's see what happens here. We got first game. So let's go back. We got Thanksgiving Day. Yes. 3 games on Thanksgiving. The Bears and the Lions started at what felt like 9 a.m., but we are East Coast kids, so it was around midday on Thanksgiving. As you could see here, if you're watching and if you're listening to this later, the Detroit Lions moved to 11-1, but that's not the story of the game. The story of the game, and it's so apropos that you're wearing your Chicago Bears uni tonight. Are you going to switch for every game, or is that
Bears? Yeah. It's gonna. So this is gonna be a long show. I got to change clothes between every game.
That won't be weird at all for you.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take my shirt off right here. It'll be fine. It'll be fast.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
But the story of the game goes like this. So let me scroll down a little bit here, and let's look at the scoring summary. So first quarter, second quarter, whole first half belongs to the Lions, and they're 10-1 at this point. They're playing the hapless Bears, who just can't seem to get anything going in the right direction. And it looks like it's going to be a blowout from the start. But then the third quarter comes along. We get a touchdown pass to Keenan Allen from Caleb Williams. Then the Lions get another touchdown. So you go back to thinking this game's going to be a blowout. But lo and behold, we get to the fourth quarter, and the Bears score back-to-back TDs. So they're keeping the Lions out of the end zone, which is really hard to do this year. And they scored 2 TDs, but the real storyline of this game was the final minute of play, where Caleb Williams and Matt Eberflus can't seem to get on the same page. They've got a timeout remaining. They've got about 30 seconds. Caleb Williams gets sacked and then can't get a decent enough play off by the time that the clock expires, and Eberflus doesn't use the timeout and gets fired, I think, 4 minutes after the game on the sideline. But Josh, what were you seeing out of the Lions and Bears game here?
Oh my! First of all, the Lions are so good. They are unbelievably good. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the Super Bowl. However, the Bears, I love the Bears. So growing up in Tennessee, we didn't have a professional team until the Titans came, and I was already in high school. So as a kid, I was just kind of cheering for Bears, Redskins, Bills, anybody like 49ers. I just enjoy watching football. So I'm the Bears. I'm all in. And they were in that game at the end because of Caleb Williams. And I tell you what, the Bears did the right thing by getting rid of Matt Always Lose, or whatever his last name is. And
that's his new nickname.
And I mean, I'm looking right now. They are 4-8. They could easily be 8-4 or even 9-3.
That's right.
I mean, they close games with the Lions, Vikings, Packers, 1 point, Commanders, Colts, Texans. The only game they really lost badly was the Cardinals and the Patriots, which was ironic that they lost that bad to the Patriots.
That's right.
But they stayed in the game because of Caleb Williams. As long as they have Caleb Williams, they have a chance. And I just couldn't believe. I was yelling at the screen, "Call a timeout! Call a timeout! What are you doing?
Right.
Like, you have a timeout. Just
Might as well use
use
it.
it." Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, hey, what if we can get to the line, get a quick play off, and then call a timeout? Like, that would have been great if you could have pulled it off. But if you're the coach and you're seeing it click, it's 11, 10, 9. You're getting down just below 10 seconds, and your guy hasn't snapped the ball yet. It's time to call the T over there. Run over there to the guy with the stripes and say, I need to call a timeout because I actually want to win this game. And to do so, I need to call a timeout and figure out what I'm going to do. So.
Yeah. And they're kind of okay. So then go deeper into that last 30 seconds, because really what they're playing for at that point is to get a field goal. Mm-hmm. So they're not even urgent to get a field goal. I don't know. I feel like there's a conspiracy behind this game but unfortunately, Coach Eberflus did not make it through the following morning. I just like to say it like it's Swedish or something like that. Like I'm the guy from Frozen.
It's Eberflusy.
Yeah. And it was a mess in Chicago for 3 years. They drafted, actually, over the last 5 years, they had Matt Nagy, but before that, Nagy. Yeah. They drafted Mitch Trubisky. They fired the coach the same year they drafted him. Then they drafted Justin Fields. They fired another coach. So it's John Fox, Nagy, and now Eberflus. And I really do hope and pray for the Chicago Bears that they get something more stable, because they've got a quarterback in Caleb Williams. They've got good offensive pieces. They've got a decent enough defense. They could really be an 8-4 team, and it's a shame that they're 4-8. But yeah,
who are they going to hire? Who do you think they're going to go after? Who's going to come coach for the Chicago Bears? Could they steal Lincoln Riley from USC?
Well,
that's the most random thought ever.
I think the possibility of more of these teams, and we can talk about this if you want, about the Cowboys possibly looking at Deion Sanders. They may just stick with Big Tom down there. No, I'm just kidding. Mike McCarthy. So they're going to be looking at stars more and more often, because stars draw talent, even, and I know that's sort of a college formula, but I think it could be a pro formula too. But I actually think for the Chicago Bears, they're not going to go after a star coach. They're going to go after a really capable coordinator so that they can stabilize this thing. And I think Ben Johnson from the Lions, the offensive coordinator, ironically, that they were playing the Lions, but Ben Johnson's been the standout from an offensive coordinator standpoint this year.
That would be great. I would love to see that. And they need to build more of an offensive line here. I mean, they've got Caleb Williams is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a O-line problem or him not getting rid of the ball problem or offensive play calling problem. I don't know, but he gets sacked a lot. And
no, that's an offensive, because he's got. Yeah, that's an offensive line problem. It's kind of like I was calling it out for the Jets the first few weeks. Like, they're not going to get any better unless they upgrade the offensive line, because Rodgers doesn't have any time to throw. I think the story now is that Rodgers, it's kind of half and half. They have a bad offensive line, and Rodgers just isn't who he used to be. But all right, let's move on to the second Turkey Day game.
Woo!
And before we head to Green Bay, we go down to Dallas for the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys, and a barn burner here with a matchup between Drew Lock and Cooper Rush at quarterback. Actually, really rooting for Drew Lock. Love Drew Lock, the rapping quarterback as he is. Was really rooting for him, and kind of always rooting for the sad Giants, because they're just a mess. And
it's terrible.
I'll tell you one thing. That they're going to clean house in January, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
The mistakes that were made with Saquon going to the Eagles, Dable can't seem to stabilize the team. It's just a hot mess. The Cowboys are a little bit of a mess themselves. But so let's tell the story of the game. Dallas is looking good early, right? They go up.
Yeah.
They've got actually, when we're heading into halftime, it's a 13-10 game, so it's anybody's ball game. The big play in the first half this is one of my favorite names in the NFL. DeMarvion, or DeMarvin, I've heard other people say it. DeMarvion Overshown. I just like saying DeMarvion. I want it to be that.
I actually wish my name was that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
DeMarvion or DeMarvin overshown with a 23-yard pick six in the first half. Otherwise, it's pretty calm. We've got a couple of field goals, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty boring first half at 13-10.
Yeah.
Then they come out in the second half, and it's really all Cowboys um, because so they get a pass Cooper Rush to Brandon Cooks. Rico Dowdle gets a touchdown in the third quarter. It's a little bit too little too late because all the Giants can do is they get an early fourth quarter field goal, and then they get a late 8-yard rush from Drew Lock. It really is inconsequential. Game ends 27-20. Big brother beats little brother as usual. I think that's 5 straight wins for the Cowboys over the Giants. Just kind of a sad game. I mean, I know that there was
Yeah.
probably huge eyeballs and everybody's watching this game because of the Cowboys, and everybody's at home in their Yankees and Cowboys gear, getting ready for the game. I would love them Cowboys, but but Cowboys ultimately take it. They've won 2 straight. So, what are your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on the Cowboys moving forward?
Man, I don't know what to make of the Cowboys. It seems like no matter what they do, they cannot put together a championship team, and so many Cowboys fans out there, and it's tough for them to go through it. I know, but I like the Giants, another team that I've enjoyed watching over time. Also, as a Tennessee fan, I try to follow a lot of the uh, Tennessee football players as they move on. Jalen Hyatt there with the Giants. I wish they would use him more. But you're right. The Giants are going to clean house at the end of the year, as they should, because they got some reworking to do. Their defense is not terrible. It's kind of middle of the pack from what I've been watching. Their pass defense is okay, but they can't stop the run to save their lives. So they're going to have to do some things on the D line. They're going to have to do a lot of stuff. They've got great skill players. I mean, Malik Neighbors was one of my favorite receivers last year out of LSU. He was awesome.
Absolutely.
So obviously they want to get him the ball as much as they can. They've got. I like Devin Singletary in the backfield. I mean, they've got some talent there. Here's what I would do if I was in charge of the New York Football Giants.
The New York Football Giants,
which I'm not. But if I were,
you might be.
I would do it. I would do it.
Take the phone call.
Yeah, I'd do it. I would. Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. These are not your guys. They are good. They're good backups, and they should stay that way. I would put together a trade. I would go to the Lions and say, "We'll take Hendon Hooker, please. Give me Hendon Hooker
and Ben Johnson
and Ben Johnson."
Sorry, everybody's going to want Ben Johnson. That's what I'm saying. It's
absolutely,
Bears,
they are.
New York Giants. Everybody's going to want him.
Oh yeah, they're going to want him. But they need a quarterback to build around. They thought they had that in Justin Fields. The Steelers thought they could get Justin's a talented kid. I don't know. It's just not working out for him. And now Russell Wilson's having so much success at the Steelers. Justin, I'm not sure what's going to happen with him, but
I actually think
get Hendon Hooker.
Stick around with the Steelers and be their quarterback, but keep going.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, go get Hendon Hooker. Like I know I'm a Tennessee guy, so I'm like, oh, all the Tennessee guys play those guys. But I mean, Hendon's good. He played really good in the preseason. He is viable as a starting quarterback. The Lions probably know that. They're going to leverage that because they've got Jared Goff, who's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
So Hendon's never going to play. And so if I were him, I would be looking to, hey, let me go somewhere where I can play. The Bears need help. Maybe I can help them. So I would say go get yourself some O linemen. Go get yourself a trade. I wouldn't take a quarterback in the draft, honestly.
You're talking about the Giants. Giants. Yes.
I'm talking about the Giants. Yeah. What did I say? Yes.
It's Giants. Okay. It's okay. They're basically the same team.
They are the same thing. I'm wearing the Bear stuff, and so I'm in my Bears mentality. But the Giants, I would don't get a quarterback out of the draft. Go trade for one if you can, and then build some a D line and an O line and get your foundation straight. And maybe in a couple of years you'll be competing instead of
just like an Elon Musk at Twitter, just like fire everybody and then just start rebuilding.
It worked.
Yeah. Still working. It's still the site is still up and
still up. So. We're logged in right now.
What are your Cowboys thoughts?
Well, I don't know what to think of the Cowboys.
Okay.
I don't have any thoughts other than
they're not a very good team and
they're not a great team.
They're not going to make the playoffs and all this hoping and praying. And I feel for the Cowboys fans that are watching right now, God bless you because you have gone through 20 some odd seasons of pain and Romo and just and Dak has been kind of a mess, and then Ezekiel Elliott, and God, I feel for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they won 2 straight, so they're giving people hope.
They are.
But I ultimately don't think that hope's going to pay off. But we'll see.
No, how long is Dak out for the season?
Yes, they have sat him down, and he had surgery.
Yeah, right. So he's done, and Dak's good. I don't know why you would ever get rid of Dak, at any point. But I would say, nothing like the heavyweight matchup between Cooper Rush and Drew Lock on Thanksgiving. Whoa!
That was just burning up the programming, the TV.
Boy, we got all these great athletes out there.
Drew Lock and Cooper Rush are playing.
We gotta watch. We gotta watch Cooper Rush play football.
I love
Cowboys.
It. All right, third game on Thanksgiving at night. Our first snow game of the weekend, which was very entertaining. Packers and Dolphins. So my favorite meme, I think, of the weekend was the Jamaican bobsled team, like equating them to the Miami Dolphins going to Green Bay to play. Despite that, the Dolphins were anemic in the first half, couldn't score, and the Packers looked great. They looked solid. I actually turned this off at halftime because I was like, yeah, this game's over. But I will give it up for Tua, even though Tua was probably freezing. And, it's the Dolphins, they're not used to that. They brought 3,500 pounds of winter gear to Green Bay on the plane. But Tua goes 37 for 46 for 365 and 2 TDs. Really good to see him healthy, and he's played great the last 3 or 4 weeks. The Dolphins are 5-7. I actually think if they just catch fire, they might kind of sneak into the AFC playoffs. But we'll see about that. Packers looking solid at 9-3. Another great game for Jonnu Smith, the tight end for Miami, who is a stud and a rising star. If you got him on your fantasy team, you're probably psyched. 10 receptions for 113. So what did you think about the wonderful snow, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field?
Oh, I love watching NFL football when it's snowing. It's the best. These guys, I can't do it. I played in the freezing snow once in high school. I was a big pansy about it. I was like, I'm too cold. I need some, hand heaters and stuff like that. Dion told his hot hands. Dion told his team, put that crap away. We don't need no hot hands. Got there and play football. It's football weather.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't in Green Bay, but I love some good snow in the football. I love the Packers. I'm wearing a Bears hat, but I like the Packers too.
You like them as a 2024 team, looking solid, headed towards
100%. Because I look at the Packers, I think, we talked about building a team around stars. Where are the stars for the Packers? They don't really have stars.
Right.
Jordan Love is
right.
Is right. A star, I guess.
Is an emerging star. Josh Jacobs is a little bit of a fading star.
Sure.
Christian Watson at wideout. I mean, you've got some pieces, but they're not like a talent, which sometimes that's better.
They're just kind of solid all around.
Right.
And that's what these other teams need to have, because you can have a star and build your team around him. But I mean, if he doesn't have any help like Caleb Williams, then it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's cool to see the Packers doing so well. I think they're, I look forward to them having a good season. The Dolphins they're right there. That's a team that's got a bunch of stars. They got all the tools they need to make a Super Bowl run.
Right.
They just can't put it together yet. So.
Yeah, but they're getting better as the season goes on. And if Tua's healthy, they have a shot because he is really sharp right now, which is really great to see. Because after that last concussion, I was like, I don't know if that dude makes it back.
Dude, I know it's terrible. Another plug for Tennessee players: they need to keep giving the ball to Jalen Wright every chance they get.
That's right.
Kid's dynamite.
Go Jalen Wright. I mean, Miami's running backs. They got a great running back room with Mostert, Jalen, and Devin Achane.
I think it's Mostert.
It's mostly, is it French?
Oh, it's Mustard.
Like my last name, Bedard, is it French?
Yes, it's very French.
Very French. Okay. Before we move on to the Black Friday game, which is a new thing over the last couple of years, very Amazon specific, let's get to a trivia question. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, God, yeah, I'm ready for some trivia. Yeah, you can't get anything by me, Drew.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna dial up some music here, and we're gonna get to it. Okay. So, Josh, there is a single team in the NFL that plays week in and week out with their normal uniforms with red face masks. Can you name that team?
How long do I have?
As long
I
as
need
you
to go
want.
ahead.
I mean,
I
I'm
need to
going to
answer
cut it
probably.
off at some
I should probably
point.
answer
If you want to
now.
make some, yeah, you can make some guesses too if you'd like. But
Is it the Kansas City Chiefs?
incorrect.
Arizona Cardinals?
No.
49ers?
Nope.
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you sure? Is this a trick question?
No, because I looked it up because it used to
The
be
Commanders.
It used to be the Chiefs. And I had to look it up because the Chiefs they wear white face masks, I think now.
Do they?
It is, are you ready?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Strangely, it is the New England Patriots. They have a red face mask on their silver helmets.
Do they?
Red face masks.
How about that? That's very American of them. The Patriots.
Right.
Give me the red, white, and blue. That's
Yep.
cool. I like that.
Okay. All right, let's head over to Black Friday, and it's a in-division matchup on Friday, November 29th between the Raiders and Chiefs at home at Arrowwood Gayha Stadium in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. This game, first of all, the Raiders are better than their record at 2-10. They have no quarterback. They have Aiden O'Connell, who sounds like he should be at like an Irish pub down the street.
Yes.
They have an all-pro rookie in Brock Bowers. They have a great defense with Max Crosby. They're actually better than their record, but the Chiefs, and I believe it's openly on the internet called Black Magic at this point. They have some way, whether it's through a referee or a random fumble or something, of putting the hex on the team against them.
Yeah. And
the Chiefs recover a botched snap by the Raiders in the closing seconds of the game and clinch they've locked in their playoff berth, so they're going again to the playoffs, and they win 19-17. Kind of an ugly game, back and forth. Yeah, not the prettiest thing in the world. Patrick Mahomes still is not playing like Patrick Mahomes, and maybe he's starting sort of a Roger Clemens type, I'm going to like tank until I get to the playoffs. But the Chiefs are 11-1. I don't know how they're 11-1, but they are. And I do want to give it up for the Raiders because they keep competing. And O'Connell's better than Minshew, in my opinion. Brock Bowers, I think, should be an all-pro in his first year. But what do you think? Chiefs, Raiders?
Yeah, I love Brock Bowers. He's on my fantasy team as my tight end. He's doing me some solids. It's real nice. And I would put him up there as a Rookie of the Year candidate. Not that you've asked me who my Rookie of the Year candidates are, but they would be.
I'll save that
Brock
for later.
Bowers is one. So later, if you want to ask me that later, I'll give you the other ones.
Bowers. Yeah, okay.
But the Raiders are just, again, a team with no stars, and it's that
it shows. Except for Max Crosby, I would say that is their only star. Now they have a star tight end. So,
right.
And actually this is probably better for them because if they keep losing, that their draft order is going to be higher, and they could probably get Shedeur Sanders or what's his name, Timmy from Georgia.
Timmy from Georgia, Carson Beck. Don't fix it now. You only got like 4 games left. Go ahead and or 5 games. Go ahead and just tank it and get yourselves a good quarterback. I think, going forward. Yeah, that's what I would do. The Chiefs keep rubbing their juju rocks together and winning every game that they play because I don't know how, but it's going to run out eventually. Right now, I'm telling you, the Chiefs will not make it to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, they're not going to make it because they got too many referee things happening for them. Too much luck. They're not going to make it.
All right, so we're going to put a pin in that. Josh says. No Super Bowl appearance for the Kansas City Chiefs. I agree. I think they're an early exit from the playoffs. Could be a first-round shocker. Or if they get the bye week, somebody's going to come in hot and just could blow them out at Arrowhead. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's head over to Sunday after we finish the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games. First game of the day that we'll cover is the Chargers at the Falcons. Kind of a weird game. Chargers take the win 17-13, but again, kind of an ugly game, little bit back and forth. One thing that stood out was Kirk Cousins and 4 interceptions on the day, and a couple of them were just little floaters that didn't even get close and weren't tipped, but just never made it to the wide receiver. One ended up in a pick six. The star for the day for the Falcons was Bijan Robinson with 26 carries for 102 yards and a TD. The star for the Chargers, well, it's always Justin Herbert because that dude can lace a ball down.
Sling it.
He can slang. He can spin it. But his number one receiver, which I love, and is your buddy, Lad McConkey.
Lad McCloskey.
Yeah. Or as Keegan-Michael Key called him, Ladidi McConkey. So he goes 9 for 117 and no points scored in the fourth quarter. So for all those people in Atlanta that were like, all we got to do is just score a touchdown right here. And nothing.
That's all you had to do, and they couldn't do it.
Yep. Your thoughts, Chargers, Falcons?
Well, I love the Chargers as a team this year. They are
Harbaugh
better than their record. Yeah, Harbaugh, the Duke coach. Justin Herbert is a gunslinger. They got talent all over the field, both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Even the games they've lost have been close. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on the road to Kansas City next week and win. I would love to see it personally.
I think everyone would love to see that.
People would love to see it. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Lad McConkey, great. I mean, it's my second Rookie of the Year candidate would be Lance McCloskey, and so I can't wait till Lad's a great guy. I got to know him a little bit last year when he played at Georgia, and high quality kid. Yeah, I wish nothing but the best for them. Again, they got Joshua Palmer out there, wide receiver too, another Tennessee graduate. Love to see them. I'm turning this into a Tennessee show.
Just all Vols.
All Vols all the time.
By the way, the number 3 ranked Tennessee men's basketball team plays tomorrow night, and they're wearing dark mode uniforms.
My gosh,
really
that is so exciting to me. Big Chargers fan here. I like it. I can't wait to see them keep winning.
Yes, I think I feel the same way. I'd love to see them make a deep run in the playoffs. I think they're a fun team to watch. So let's see what happens with the old Chargers. Game number 2, an absolute gunslinging shootout in Cincinnati. Feel terrible for Joe Burrow because he's having an MVP caliber statistical season,
year.
But they can't seem to win. They lose again. This time 44-38. Now, it's a little bit lopsided here. So the story of the game is that the Steelers, other than this kind of random pick six, which might have been interference in the first quarter, for the Bengals off of Russell Wilson. Other than that, it's all Steelers in the first half. I mean, Steelers are rolling. Bengals are scoring, but the Steelers are really looking like they have the momentum. But no quit in the Bengals. They go all the way down to the wire. Bengals score 14 in the fourth. And again, Russell Wilson goes 29 for 38 for 414 and 3 TDs. Najee Harris gets hurt, but has 16 carries for 75 yards. We'll see where that goes for him. Jamar Chase, who's always open, as he says, 6 receptions for 86 yards and 1 TD. And then your boy Joe Burrow, another 300-yard game, 28 for 38, 309, 3 TDs, and an INT. But Joe and the Bengals, just poor guys. They're 4-8 now. Your thoughts on this game in Cincinnati?
I tell you what, they need a defense in Cincinnati. They're just giving up too many points. And I'm looking at the games they've lost. They've scored 38, 27, 34, 24, 38, 33. Those are decently good offensive numbers. They should be winning those games, and they're not. Absolutely. So they need to get their defense together. I love that Joe Burrow is having the season he's having. I mean, I was shocked when I looked earlier today, and I just saw that he was leading the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns. He's got like 30 touchdowns and like 5 interceptions. I don't know. I forgot what the stats are.
Yeah, he has 30 and 5. Yeah, that's exactly correct. And he's leading the league in yards.
It's incredible. And Jamar Chase is first or second in receiving, along with his buddy Justin Jefferson. I mean, it's an incredible offensive offense to watch. They just got to get their defense together. I hope they do, because a lot of big hopes for Cincinnati, I think, since they drafted Burrow and since they added all this talent. I mean, they've been close multiple times. They just got to pull it together. Steelers, though, same way. I mean, I love seeing what Russell Wilson's doing. Comeback player of the year.
Oh, is that comeback player of the year?
I guess, if that's a thing. I mean, just
it is.
Getting traded from the Seahawks and then not working out in Denver and then making it to the Steelers and beating out the younger Justin Fields for the job and then playing pretty well. Big fan of Russell. I'd like to see him do well. So, yeah, Steelers, who knows what they can do going forward, too. They can keep winning some games. So,
Yeah,
man.
it's going to be a tough it's going to be a tough haul here for the Cincinnati Bengals all the way home.
Yeah.
Because Pittsburgh's 9-3, Baltimore's 8-5, and Baltimore's better than their record. Obviously, we'll talk about that game, but they left 7 points on the table with 2 Justin Tucker missed field goals and an extra point miss. So, but it's going to be tough for Cincinnati. And I know they're asking those questions of Joe in these press conferences saying, so what do you think? You think you're going to make the playoffs? He's like, I just want to win the next game. And that's a good attitude to have. And he's a good leader for that team. And they'll be back. They'll be back. Probably just a down year for them, but they'll be back.
Yeah, they could win the next 5 and finish, 9-8. And
and then you never know.
You never know, but they would need Baltimore to fall. I don't see that happening. They're too good. We'll talk about them in a minute, I know, but yeah.
Yep.
We'll see.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll move on to the next one. We got the Cardinals and Vikings, which, oh, God, this game was so rough to watch. The Vikings improved to 10-2. They end up winning the game, but it's not pretty. Kyler Murray goes 31 for 45 for 260 and 1 TD. James Conner has another good game. Justin Jefferson has a great game, 7 for 99. And really what this was, again, sort of a chip away field goal game in the first half. Then they trade touchdowns in the third quarter. And then really what put it away was a Sam Darnold throw in the closing minutes. Or excuse me, Aaron Jones. Yeah, that was the pass to Aaron Jones where he looked up to the sky and did one of these. It was a beauty. Yeah. It was a beauty. But Vikings and Cardinals in Minnesota, your thoughts on the 10-2 Vikings?
Man, I love seeing the Vikings. I was so cool what Sam Darnold's been able to do. I'm really excited for him. The Vikings 10-2. I think their schedule's been kind of favorable. They've had the Titans, the Bears, the Jaguars.
Did you say Jaguars?
The Giants. I did Jaguars. Sorry.
No, I like it when people say Jaguars.
Jaguars. I just East Tennessee. I mean,
yeah. What you gonna do?
We don't say Jaguar. Jaguar. It's a soft J, but
it's a silent J.
It's a Jaguars and
Jaguar.
Schedule has been favorable a little bit for them, but they have won. Even the couple of games they lost by 1 point to the Lions. They challenged the Lions, right? 2 points, I should say. Yeah, I love the Vikings. I can't wait to see what they do.
I know. I'm really rooting for them come playoff time.
Yeah, I want to see the Vikings in the playoffs.
Love their coach, Kevin O'Connell. Is that right?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Yeah, great coach, and he's going to be. I think he's their coach for the next 10 to 15 years, and I think they'll be solid as long as they have him.
I mean, right there in the NFC North, them in the Lions, be pretty awesome to see an NFC championship. Between those two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. The NFC North is stacked. Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay are all looking like playoff teams, obviously. So are we going to see an NFC North team in the NFC Championship? Most likely.
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely. All right, let's move on to our next game. We are going to talk about the Colts and Patriots, which actually I watched a good piece of this game, most of it, actually. And it was a very entertaining football game. Anthony Richardson, again, has a really solid, promising performance. Has running touchdowns, has throwing touchdowns, really does well. I thought the Patriots are going to win this all along. Drake May is looking the Patriots can. I'm kind of a broken record saying this. That the Patriots need to feel optimistic about the direction that they're going in. With Gerard Mayo, our Tennessee guy, there you go, Josh. Right. At the helm, but Drake May, he's got the talent. They have nobody else on that team. And I mean, nobody. I mean, what I mean is they don't have another A-level talent on the rest of the team. And they will probably continue to rebuild around Drake May. Now they have some confidence that they have a quarterback. I don't think they had the confidence with Mac Jones before. But the Colts, the late TD and a 2-point conversion to take the win, really a thrilling game to watch, which probably most people didn't think it would be. But the Patriots are now 3-10. Their season is over, so they can really kind of relax and rebuild for next year. Whereas the Colts are right there in the hunt. for a potential playoff spot. Drake May goes 24 for 30 for 238 and 1 TD. Jonathan Taylor has a great game for the Colts. 25 for 96. Hunter Henry was the star for the Patriots on offense, other than May, for 7 receptions for 75 yards. He almost got killed, by the way, on one play and almost got concussed. Dude, the concussions are out of control.
It's too much.
It's a lot. So your thoughts, Colts, Patriots, Anthony Richardson does it again.
Anthony Richardson is I was skeptical about him being a starter in Indianapolis. I mean, I know the guy's got talent, but I can't believe they are 6-7 and in the hunt in the AFC South. I mean, it's a pretty bad division generally with the Texans, leading there, I think at 8-5. So it's, but it's cool to see the Colts doing it. It's cool to see Anthony Richardson having success. Jonathan Taylor, big fan of him, great running back. I mean, I think as long as you've got him, you can run the ball. But the Patriots, give me Joe Milton the third, but that's never going to happen.
So that's another one. You mentioned Hendon Hooker. We'll just discuss the entire Tennessee depth chart.
Let's go
for quarterbacks. Joe Milton's another one that within a couple of years, if he's not going to get a shot, maybe somebody gives him a shot, somebody somewhere else, or he becomes a solid backup.
And he would make a great backup for Drake May. And if May went down, I think he could get the job done for sure. So he may like it in New England and stick around. But New England's they're on the up and up. They'll be all right. They just got to keep building and adding some more talent to that team. And I think they'll be all right.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's head to New Jersey and the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. So coming into this game, Seahawks probably have to feel pretty good. They're thinking, okay, we're playing the Jets. But here's another game with a story of two halves and really one play that was the catalyst in this whole thing. So the Jets are rolling in the first half, in the first quarter in particular. They're up 14-0. I think they are at this point.
Yeah.
But then they go up 21-7. Okay. It's 21-7, I think, at this point. Yes. And they're looking great. They're driving down. They're on about the 10-yard line. And Aaron Rodgers throws a pass to Garrett Wilson, which is probably 9 times out of 10 that they complete between the two of them. Yeah. With Garrett Wilson's skill and with Aaron Rodgers' accuracy, that should work all the time. But it just goes over the tips of his fingers. This is one play. The next play gets tipped up in the air so the defensive lineman tips it up in the air, catches it, takes it to the house for a 90-yard pick six. Game completely changes. And the Jets never score again. Never score again for the rest of the game. So for the rest of the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, nothing. No field goals, no points. Seattle puts 10 on the board in the fourth quarter and ultimately takes the game. So the Jets fans are sitting there. It's 21-7. They're like, we're gonna win. There's some promise here. And Rodgers floats one to Garrett Wilson, goes off his fingertips. They're both like, oh my God. They could have put the game away. And the next play is picked off for a touchdown. The game goes completely the other direction, and the Jets lose again. And it's just the saddest thing I've ever seen. Your thoughts?
Leonard Williams, big number 99, running it back.
Big dog, man.
92 yards.
He was cooking.
Falling, baby. Yeah. I love to see it. It's awesome. The Jets, they don't have that killer instinct. They don't have that. They're not keeping their foot on the throat when they have the opportunity to win the game. They're just not doing it. 3-9. The season is tanked, but I think if you're the Jets, different than some of the other teams we talked about, like the Raiders, you want to keep winning because you need to build. You got to be ready for next year. I think Rodgers says he's coming back, and he wants to play for the Jets again. We'll see how that works out. But I'm very impressed with Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Geno Smith, yes. I would not have thought that he would be a starting quarterback at this point.
And he is solid.
He has shown up. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. His touchdown interception ratio is pretty rough, but not all those are on him. Got a lot of yards and a great leader. I love seeing Geno win over there with Seattle. So they're in the driver's seat in their division. So I bet
Seattle is one team that I think going into the playoffs that nobody wants to play. Yeah. They're too unpredictable. They have a good defense. They have a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, they're a dark horse.
You don't want to see them on your schedule. Like, oh God,
Yeah.
we got to play Seattle. Like that would be devastating. All right, let's go to the
Yeah.
next game. We'll be able to get through this one quick because that's how it pretty much played out in Washington, D.C. with the Commanders versus our hapless Titans here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. The Commanders are good. They're a good
They're
team.
good. Yeah.
They put up 28 in the first half. They put up 21 in the first quarter. The game's over at halftime. Will Levis, they're down 28-0, and he's over there laughing on the sideline, having a good time. Terry McLaurin scores 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson has a touchdown. Jaden Daniels has a touchdown. Just the Commanders are really solid. I've said that all season long. 8-5. They put 14 up in the fourth to just complete the blowout at 42-19. Your thoughts on the Titans or whatever? Good for the Commanders, but the Titans depressing.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Titans. I don't know what they need to do with it. All right. I mean, they fired their coach. They they got new quarterbacks, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
I mean,
they're going to have to rebuild in the offseason.
I hate it for Titans fans watching Derrick Henry have the season of his life up there in Baltimore right now.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, crossed 10,000 yards, celebrated with the Ravens. I mean, it's a bummer, but I don't blame him for going to Baltimore. He wants to win.
Right.
That's what you do when you play sports. You try to win. The Titans need to understand that. They're not.
You're either first or you're last. I think a prophet said that at one point.
Commanders, I love them. 8-4, 8-5, something like that. Just rocking. Jaden Daniels, huge fan. You've been talking about him all year as a rookie of the year, potentially even MVP. Maybe not MVP now, but rookie of the year, 100%. The dude can ball, and I love seeing him play. He's got DC excited.
Yes, he does. Okay.
Kind of like RG3 had them excited. When he came in and he was such a great athlete, he was a great quarterback, and they were winning games. It reminds me of that time. And hopefully, if he stays healthy, Jaden could be there for a really long time. He's
quick Monday Night Football update, by the way. Broncos up 21-10, just about to halftime right now. Our boy Bo Nix just getting it done. Denver looking really
another rookie of the year candidate.
They're
Bo Nix
on the way up.
Bo Cephas.
Bo Cephas, the Knicks. You're like, is that your full name?
I asked him. I was like, so is that short for something? He goes, no, it's just Bo.
It's just Bo, and my last name's Nix. I mean, it's the shortest name in world's history. Is that it's 5 letters total. It's kind of remarkable. But there's your little Monday Night Football update. People that listen on the podcast tomorrow will not understand that. Now, let's go to the next game and really Texans Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. So everybody knows that the story of this game is about the hit. What was the dude's name? What is it?
Shahir.
Yes.
Shahir.
That's right. Azeez Al-Shaair. Okay, so this is what the game's going to be remembered for, because in the second quarter, Trevor Lawrence rolls out, scrambles, gets about 10 yards into his scramble, and tries to slides questionably a little bit late, but Al-Shaair's, he just absolutely wrecks him, shoulder right to the helmet. And Lawrence immediately goes into the fencing response, which is the frozen, I'm concussed, I have a concussion, I have a brain problem. And it was awful to watch.
It was.
And just add insult to injury for the Jaguars. They're obviously probably going to shut Lawrence down for the year. They're 2-10. They're another team that's going to clean house. That could be a Belichick landing spot to take over head coach and GM in Jacksonville, in Florida, with a good quarterback and a good defense and a couple tools on offense. But the Texans sneak by them over the course of the game. Jacksonville with Mac Jones does score 14 in the fourth, but the Texans take it 23-20. They're 8-5 on the season. What do you think about both teams? What do you think about the Texans heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, big fan of CJ Stroud. I like the way he plays the game. Last year, one of the best rookies playing. Love Stroud. Love Nico Collins. I got Nico on my fantasy
Yeah.
team. Listen,
Nico.
my fantasy team is. I am in number one spot.
Yeah,
I'm in
Nico had
number
a
one.
big game.
First place in my fantasy team, Drew, is because I have Nico Collins and Brock Bowers and CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
So just wanted to throw that out there. I feel sorry for the Jaguars because, if I am overhauling some things there. You got a generational quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. He can get it done.
Yep.
He'll struggle sometimes, but he's your guy. And they got to keep building. But that hit that he took, I tell you what, that was, Al Shahir, he apologized, and I don't think he was out to hurt anybody. He just, he should have pulled up and not, but I don't know. Trevor still, it was a tough situation, and
I'm just watching it on a loop on my computer of him getting hit over and over again. I'm like, please make it stop.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
and I don't. I see why the Jacksonville players immediately went and attacked Al Shahir. I mean, that's what you do. You protect your guy, and you just do it. It happened. But sit Trevor for the rest of the year. Put Mac in there. Finish it out.
Yeah, Mac had a decent rest of the game. I think he threw for 2 TDs for the remainder of the game, and it's good to see him find a landing spot. He's a Florida kid, so that's working out nicely for him. But obviously the Texans take the win 23-20 in Jacksonville. Next one was the Rams and the Saints.
The Saints are just
they get the Rams can't. It is another story of two halves. The Rams can't score in the first half. All the Saints can do is get 2 field goals. So you're thinking at halftime, like, I need to drink more because it's 6-0 and this is disgusting. Yeah. But the Rams come out in the second half and get it done. Kamara has a good game. Puka Nacua has a good game. But really, the Matt Stafford effort in the second half is what drove the Rams there. And the Rams continue to be one of those teams that you think week after week, like they're just going to keep going up and then they'll lose. Yeah. And you're like, what the hell? Like when they lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Dolphins, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, at home. And you're just like, what is going on? But then they come back. They should beat the Saints. They need to beat the Saints, and they do. But Alvin Kamara has a decent game. Our guy from Tennessee, another one, 23 carries for 112. But your thoughts on the Saints and the Rams?
Well, the Saints are a disappointment in my mind. I mean, they should be a lot better than they are. But a bigger disappointment is the Rams. The Rams they got so much talent. They're 6-6. They got Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams. They got a lot. They should be better than 6-6. I think it's disappointing. Both teams should be better. I think we expected them to be better this year. So, they're still in the hunt. The Rams are, they're in the NFC West because of Seattle, being at the top at 7-5, and then they're tied with Arizona at 6-6, and then the 49ers hanging around back there, another team that should be better than their record. But I like to see the Rams pump that that offense and just let it rip. They're not letting it rip like they have in the past. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I did want to mention was another sort of cheap shot, low blow on Taysom Hill, who's like one of everybody's favorite players because whether he's throwing the ball or he's running the ball, he ran for like 120 yards a couple weeks ago. He's a fantastic player and just got hit low in the knee, ACL. He's out for the year. So sorry to Taysom, and prayers up for him. I do want to say one thing on the Rams side is that Jared Verse, number 8, their defensive player, who might be defensive player of the year or at least the NFC. He's an absolute freak, and he scares the crap out of me when he's over there. Like he's so intimidating. Him and Byron Young, they are fast and they are aggressive. And so that's the thing. Yeah. Like you said, the Rams have all the tools on offense. They got good tools on defense. Could they make a late run? They are in the right division to do it. They're tied with the Arizona Cardinals right now, so we'll see what happens.
Just a ton of tools on that team.
So many tools.
A lot of tools on that team. Jared Verse, I mean, there's a defensive rookie of the year right there.
Yeah. That's right. He's a rookie.
Out of Florida State. Yeah, out of Florida State. Before they started sucking real bad.
When they won the championship last year. Oh, wait. No, they didn't. They didn't.
No, they didn't.
All right. Here we go. Next game. Let me pull it up here. Sorry, I was looking at Jared versus stats because he's a freak.
He's amazing. Yeah, Byron Young, another Tennessee guy. Look, a lot of Tennessee guys in the NFL. If you want to play in the NFL, you should probably go to Tennessee.
Go Vols.
If you're a
That's
high
right.
school player.
All right, next one is in Charlotte. It's the Bucks and the Panthers. Another shockingly entertaining game where Chuba Hubbard. So we'll cut to the let me warm you up here in the game.
Chuba.
Decent first half. Panthers they're exceeding their expectations probably. Really good to see Bryce Young sort of maturing, getting better, making the throws, making the easy throws, moving the offense down the field. Really nice to see. So the Panthers, they head into halftime 13-10, right? Things are looking promising.
Yeah.
Baker also gets hurt, needs to come off, gets his ankle stepped on, the whole thing. It looks to be a little bit of a mess, but the Bucks fight back in the fourth, score 13. They go into overtime. Chuba Hubbard fumbles the ball. Bucks get it back, hit the field goal. Buccaneers win. They needed to win. The Panthers needed to get – I think the Panthers can take a moral victory from this one and say we're getting better as a team.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bucks actually had to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and they're so much better than 6-6. They are like the Seahawks. They're a team I do not want to play in the playoffs. So your thoughts on Bucks and Panthers in Charlotte?
No, I'm with you. Panthers, just need to continue to build and build up Bryce Young. But Tampa Bay there in the NFC South at 6-6, tied for first. So, I mean, they can still win their division. They're a team that early on, I think I kind of thought, hey, they're gonna do some damage. And then, they lost 4 in a row. But I think you're going to see them continue to win. Baker Mayfield, big fan. I think he's great leader, great quarterback. I think he could be their franchise guy for a long time from here. This Bucky Irving kid, I didn't even realize he was out of Oregon.
He had a great game.
Rookie, just incredible player, and then plenty of wide receivers there.
Bucky Irving goes 25 for 152, and Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer, God, he's so solid, 8 for 118. So another good throwing day for Baker, but good to see the Panthers moving in the right direction.
Yes.
All right,
I used to draft Mike Evans in the first round of my fantasy draft every year because I feel like a lot of people didn't just know who he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's a guy that
consistent,
just always performing. Great guy. I hope he plays until he's 44 years old,
like Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady. Okay, Eagles and Ravens in Baltimore. This one again, another slobber knocker going back and forth. Really, the story of this game, other than that Saquon Barkley it needs to be in the top 3 in MVP talks with Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. I think Baker Mayfield's in there. There's some guys. Even Lamar Jackson on the other side of the field is an MVP. Even Derrick Henry. I mean, but Saquon has been unbelievable for the Eagles. Sort of a prove it year for him. Coming from the Giants, said, "Okay, you don't want to pay me? Let me show you what I can do." But again, the story of this game is not that the Eagles go up and win the game. It's really that Justin Tucker misses 2 field goals and an extra point, taking 7 points off the board, which would have had a Ravens win 26-24. Obviously, the ball can roll anyway and things can happen, but really disappointing for the Ravens. At 8-5, shockingly, in the DVOA and like all of the analytics, the advanced analytics of the NFL, the Ravens are in the top 2 every single week because they are so good on offense and defense. But they've just, I don't know, shot themselves in the foot, bad kicking. I mean, Justin Tucker's missed like 7 or 8 field goals, maybe 9 field goals this year. So Eagles and Ravens, your thoughts?
Yeah, he's been so solid too. Such a great kicker. I hate to see that happen to him. But the Ravens to have that kind of offensive firepower, I mean, they're like one of the best offenses in the NFL. I mean, 8-5 is just not good enough. They need to be better for sure. I don't know what it is. They're a little bit streaky, But I think their schedule is favorable. They got the Giants. That's a win. They got the Steelers. That'll be a good game. The Texans and the Browns. I mean, those are all games they could win, should win. Right. But, Eagles, man, Saquon Barkley, you're right. MVP, Lamar, MVP. I mean, those are some of the best. To me, it comes down to those 2 guys probably once again, Lamar in the hunt. So, great talent on those teams. I hope they both make it to the playoffs. I want to see what happens with those teams.
And this next guy might make an entrance, even though, well, it's because it snowed 47 feet of snow in Buffalo last night, Sunday Night Football. So the final game that we'll take a look at, Sunday Night Football, beautiful snow in Buffalo last night. They had people shoveling all week, people getting to their seats. I mean, it's basically just like a slalom course in the grandstands. Josh Allen has an amazing game, which really, I mean, it was 13 for 17 for 148 because you really couldn't pass the ball that much. But amazingly, Josh Allen, this probably got him into the MVP talks. He got engaged, and then he has a running touchdown, a throwing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown because Amari Cooper on that one play throws like a hook, sort of like an in to Amari Cooper on the left side. Amari Cooper's getting tackled. He shovels it to Josh Allen. Josh Allen runs in and gets the touchdown. But this was pure domination. Really sad for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey goes down again. The Madden curse is real. He's hurt again, and he was looking great in the first half. But then it turns into pure domination. Bills, I mean, it was lights out after the first half. 35-10. James Cook has another great game, one big run that really makes up most of his yards, 14 for 107 for one TD. Your thoughts on Sunday Night Football last night?
Man, it was awesome to see. I love the snow. I love watching football in the snow. Again, we mentioned that earlier. The Bills, I think, can win the Super Bowl. They can win the Super Bowl, and I'd love to see it happen. One of the teams I did like when I was a kid, amongst many, but I did enjoy the Bills. I was always pulling for them because of they went to 4 years to the Super Bowl, lost them all. I mean, just terrible.
That's right.
But
4 straight.
I mean, it's impressive to go 4 straight years to the Super Bowl.
Man, that team was so good.
It's equally
Jim
impressive.
Kelly, Thurman Thomas.
Jeez, oh my gosh, yeah, those were
defense. Tally,
James Lofton, Andre Reed.
Oh, they were so good. We're having a little nostalgia here. If you're with us, you can throw it in the comments. Just like more players from the '90s Buffalo Bills teams.
Cornelius Bennett. Let's just keep dropping them.
I mean, just
I can't stop.
So good.
Love the Bills.
Scott Norwood. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Scott Norwood. Yes. Big game coming up for the Bills. They go to Detroit to play the Titans. Detroit to play the Lions on the 15th. I can't wait to see that game. That's going to be a battle and potentially a championship matchup for later in the year in the playoffs. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Yes. But sad for the 49ers. Really have enjoyed their run these last few years. Great defense, great offensive weapons. Our guy, Juwan Jennings, out there making plays. The MVP of last year's Super Bowl, even though Patrick Mahomes took it from us. Took it from him.
Yeah. Juwan Jennings leads the 49ers in receiving.
I love that so much.
Not Ayuk.
Kittle, not McCaffrey. Not Ayuk.
Not Samuel.
Not Debo. Right.
Yeah. Juwan freaking
Jennings. That's it. That's our dude.
Amazing. A lot of talent on that team.
It is. So, all right, that's our rundown for week 13. So we are in the middle of Monday Night Football. It is halftime in Denver. The Browns score a late first half touchdown. It's 21-17. So that's a really good game. Hope that you guys enjoy that for the rest of the night. Josh, it was an absolute pleasure having you here on the NFL Breakdown. And
no, the pleasure was all mine.
No.
No.
It's all
I insist. No, it was all mine. And how about Jameis Winston?
He's unbelievable.
Dude is amazing.
Quotes. He is a quote machine. I mean, what was the horse is ready to play, but the victory comes from the Lord or something last week? I mean,
sometimes I'm like, this guy he is part, pastor, part quarterback, part comedian. I'm like, he is awesome. I love watching him play. I love that he's getting a chance to lead the Browns and get Deshaun out of there. Love it. I can't wait to see what he can do there, maybe long term.
I know, it's unbelievable. He's a great character for the NFL.
He is Jameis,
famous Jameis. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and everybody, thanks for watching out there. It looks like a lot of people joined us tonight, and we appreciate it. So if you're looking for more, honorablementionsports.com. Check out all the things Josh has going on, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Peace.